CFL Live. Tonight's game from Iverwin Stadium in Hamilton. The San Antonio Texans versus the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Good evening and welcome to the CFL Live on TSN. I'm Darren Detishin. Glad you tuned in for the Hamilton Tiger Cats and the San Antonio Texans. You know, it is without a doubt one of the most exciting places in the CFL to watch a football game. Iverwin has been a buzz this season as football is once again fun in Steeltown. One of the big reasons why? Linebacker Michael O'Shea. He loves to talk about team toughness and intensity, and he is all of that. The second leading tackler in the CFL with 46, O'Shea gets the pleasurable task of trying to run down Mike Saunders. Saunders is one of the best backs in the league with 616 yards rushing and 6 touchdowns. Tonight, the two shall clash. Now for their thoughts on the game, let's go to John Wells and Leif Pedersen, who are standing by at Iverwin, and what's going to be a great night for football.
Darren, it's great to see David Archer back in the lineup for the Texans. He has taken more hits in 3 seasons in this league than most quarterbacks would deserve over a much longer career.
You know what, John, he really has. But the good news is his offensive line in 1995 has played a lot better. They've only given up 18 sacks in 8 games, and that is a huge improvement and one of the main reasons why this team is playing better.
And Archer certainly complicates things for the Hamilton Tiger Cat defense when you look at things here tonight.
John, this is really an ironic situation. You know, for the Hamilton Tiger Cats on defense tonight, what they really want to do, the focal point will be to stop Mike Saunders and force David Archer to beat them with the pass. Now, this guy's thrown for 6,000 yards, only one of 3 quarterbacks to do it. So I find this really ironic that they want him to throw the football tonight.
Be a pretty good test for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, Darren, who go after their 3rd straight victory.
Thanks very much, gentlemen. Just last week, the Memphis Mad Dogs, without Damon Allen and downtown Eddie Brown, shocked the Baltimore Stallions. Tonight, it is indeed the rematch. Baltimore goes into the game at 5-3. They are coming off back-to-back losses, while the Dogs are 4-4. On now to our game story, and there really are some interesting matchups in this one. Most notable, David Archer. He's not played the past 2 games because of a bad hamstring. He starts tonight for the Texans. Troy Mills, last year's leading rusher when the team was in Sacramento, returns after being cut by the Arizona Cardinals. Donnie Southern, he loves Steve Taylor's mobility. That's why he starts tonight. And Earl Winfield, what a season he is having again. Time now for some football. Let's go back to Iverwin to John and Lee.
All right, Darren, and almost a perfect night for this first meeting between the Texans and the Ticats here at Iverwin. Set to kick it off, Roman Anderson for San Antonio. And 2 deep for the Tiger Cats, Sam Rogers and Greg Lane. This is Sam Rogers beginning inside his 20 and out near the 31-yard line. Tonight's starting lineup brought to you by Mr. Sub. Fresh thinking is what we are. The Hamilton offense led by Steve Taylor, making his 3rd straight start for the Cats. He didn't get a win last week, but kept it close for a 4th quarter comeback. Dale Sanderson in his 11th season anchors the Hamilton offensive line. Larry Thompson makes his 2nd start at wide receiver opposite the great veteran Earl Winfield. And the running back of note, Kalen Hall, 661 all-purpose yards for the Tiger Cats. 1st and 10, Hamilton beginning at the 31 from the shotgun. Taylor looks to put it up in a hurry. He has Manny Hazard on the far side, and Hazard is out near the 40, most of the way to a 1st down. San Antonio defense is finally healthy. A good pass rush with Fears and Bethune in the middle up front. Dave Harper with 4 sacks leads the linebacking corps, and the secondary has been playing pretty well with Humphrey and Frank on the corners.
One thing you like about this defense is number 45, Tom Gerhardt, is originally a middle safety, and he's now up, beefed up a little bit and playing that linebacker. And what that allows the San Antonio defense to do is teams are going to that 5-pack offense. Gerhardt can cover the number 3 receiver, a back or a receiver, because of that defensive back experience. There he is.
Good production for the Tiger Cats on 1st down, making this 2nd and 1, and Derek McAdoo gets the call. McAdoo stopped near the 41. It'll be interesting to see where they spot the ball. Collins was in on the tackle. Kay Stevenson in his 3rd year in the Canadian Football League as head coach of the San Antonio Texans this year. Seems to like life in Texas a little better than he did in California.
Well, Kay, you know, kind of slow to adapt to CFL offenses. I mean, his offense this year is more wide open than it was in the past. He's gone to 5-pack and, you know, showing a lot more diversity than he did a year ago and before that.
Ticats do come up short. This is a gamble early in the game. 3rd down. About a yard to go. And no problem for McAdoo this time as he's up near the 45.
First down, Tigers.
Well, you know, when you're done,
the previous play, but he gets it there, Lever. Sorry.
John, when you're done, Southern, you know, this isn't much of a gamble. They only one time on all their giveaways this year have they done it on down. So when he comes to these 3rd down situations, he has a tremendous amount of confidence that his offense will pick it up, and they picked that one up easily.
Ticats out near the 45, 1st and 10. We're early in the opening quarter at Iverwin and Hamilton. Taylor from the shotgun has time and goes over the middle for Lee Knights. Knights stopped at the 49. Don Southern took over the Hamilton Tiger Cats as head coach about a year ago. It was back on August the 12th, 1994, when Southern became the head coach after John Gregory was relieved of his duties.
And you look at one major thing that he has done to this football team, and it's discipline. This is a much better disciplined team than it has been in the past, and that, of course, is Don Southern's trademark.
This is 2nd and 5. A bit of a rush on Taylor away from the first wave. Taylor likes to run, and he'll be very close to the first down at the 55. Leonard Nelson over to make the tackle, number 90. He had 7 starts for the Sacramento Goldmenners in '94.
John, when you look at this Hamilton offense, and what does Anthony Cavillo, the quarterback, give, and what does Steve Taylor give to this offense? This is a tremendous graphic to illustrate the difference. And keep in mind, Steve Taylor's rushing totals there of 167 yards have only come in the 3 games that he has played. Cavillo, 8 carries, 6 yards. So when you talk about extra dimensions that a quarterback can give a team, Steve Taylor in a short period of time has become their 2nd leading rusher and a great contributor in that department.
And he was the leading rusher last week for the Tiger Cats. He had just enough for the first down, just shy of midfield. Cavillo on the sidelines. And we will see him in action tonight, I'm pretty sure. Don Southern said he will take the opportunity to use both quarterbacks. 1st and 10, Ticats. Taylor from the shotgun to the far side. He has his man. Good yardage for Larry Thompson. Thompson tough to bring down. He gets inside the 30. Grady Cavness in on the tackle. And Larry Thompson has 25 yards.
And the key on the wide receiver screen is to get the block at the point of attack. Watch the left guard, Blaine Schmidt, 66. Here he comes. Thompson's waiting for that block there. He gets it from Blaine Schmidt, and he's off and running, and that's a beautifully designed play. But if you get that first block, good things can happen. This is a nice opening drive.
Excellent drive for the Tiger Cats, set up now at the Texans 30. A little fake to Kalen Hall. Taylor buys some time and looks deep. No, not quite. There's a marker down in the end zone. Frank was covering on Richard Nurse.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about this one. Malcolm Frank knew that he was in huge trouble. Richard Nurse snuck in behind, and for Don Ellis and his crew, pretty easy call to make.
Intentional forward pass interference. San Antonio number 10. First down on the 1-yard line.
One more look.
Well, here's Malcolm Frank on the corner. He's trying to get back and help out Charles Frank, the middle safety, zone coverage, and he's got that deep third. Nurse gets in behind, and there you see the total intent to make sure that Nurse doesn't catch it. Hey, that's the easiest call they're going to have to make tonight.
And it sets the Tiger Cats up at the 1-yard line.
Well, Sacramento is, that's the least penalized team in the CFL, but Malcolm Frank had no choice but to do that.
Ticats first and goal to go at the Texans 1. Taylor. And no signal down there from any of the officials. Difficult to see. It was Nelson on the tackle, number 90.
You know, Wellesley, I just referred to San Antonio as Sacramento. This is going to be a tough one for me. It's the first time you and I have seen San Antonio this year, and I still think of them as the Sacramento Gold Miners.
Well, their history is in Sacramento, and when we refer to the number of years of CFL experience and players who were with this team last year, they were with the team, but in Sacramento. Ticats second and goal from the 1 now. A marker down as McAdoo goes over the top for the touchdown. We'll check out the infraction.
Offside. San Antonio, number 58. Penalty is declined. Touchdown score.
A penalty got the Ticats down to the 1-yard line. But Taylor engineered a solid drive from back in his own zone. And here's McAdoo up and over the top.
Yeah, that's his first rushing touchdown of the year, too. And he's going to be their short yardage back. It's a good system. He's a little more powerful than Kalen Hall. He gets a good block from Lee Knight as fullback. And Derek McAdoo, although that's only his first touchdown this year, he's going to carry most of the load in the short yardage situations.
Osbaldiston makes it 7-0 Tiger Cats. 9:19 to go in the opening quarter. McAdoo into the end zone from a yard away.
Grandpa Shaq, tell us how basketball used to be.
Well, the basket wasn't always 20 feet tall.
What about 100-yard courts?
Not even close.
What happened?
In the future, athletes will make the game faster, tougher. But today's athlete can choose new All-Sport, Body Quencher, Fluid Replacement, and 4 ripping flavors. Gatorade, look out. So before it gets to this, All-Sport, the game will never be the same.
We have the gamut of bicycles from children's bicycle right up to a mountain bike to a racing bike. Our product obviously makes it special. We have a dynamite product. I use the Advantage account codes to be cost efficient. With Advantage, I get 1 invoice per month. It's broken down exactly the way I want it, by territory, across Canada, by rep. The Advantage codes make my life very easy. I mean, it makes it easier for my budget. Being cost conscious is very important to every business in this day and age.
CFL Live on TSN. Brought to you by All Sport. The new All Sports drink for athletes. All Sport, the game will never be the same. And by Bell Advantage Long Distance Services, from the Alliance of Canada's only full-service telecommunications companies.
Great start for the Tiger Cats on home turf at Ivor Wynne Stadium. 7-0 on McAdoo's 1-yard touchdown. 9 plays to cover 78 yards. Leaf. 5 minutes, 41 seconds, and it was Derek over the top.
And it's interesting how they did it. 5 rushing plays on that opening drive. You don't think of Hamilton as a running team, but, a couple of short yardage plays at the end. But, Steve Taylor mixed it up nicely on that opening drive.
And ready for Osbaldiston's kickoff as the Texans get ready to get their hands on the ball for the first time. This is David Lucas waiting for it at the 25, and he's off. Solid return guy, David Lucas, out across the 40-yard line. Quarterback David Archer back at the controls of the Texas offense after missing 3.5 games with a hamstring problem. His credentials have been super in Canadian football. The offensive line still anchored by Mike Kiselak, 19 sacks allowed in 8 games. And there are 4 new receivers in 95. Joe Kralik and Mark Stock start outside. The running back is Mike Saunders, second in CFL rushing right now. Texans begin at the 42, first down. Some early movement and flags are everywhere as Saunders took the ball. Kay Stevenson looking on. Procedure call is the indication from Don Ellis.
The offensive line of San Antonio. First down repeated.
Defensively, Marcus Cotton is back in the lineup at right end with Philbrook Campbell and Small up front. Great linebackers, Sean Smith, Michael O'Shea, and Hassan Bailey. And Brian McCurdy gets his first start at safety for the Tiger Cats in 1995. This is 1st and 15 as Archer operates from the shotgun. Had a man open. That was Tony Burst. Couldn't hang out of the ball.
John, what's interesting when you look at this San Antonio offense, and, teams do tendencies, and for Kay Stevens, who calls most of the plays, 6 out of 10 of their favorite plays are running plays, and that's kind of unusual for a CFL team. It's, you know, normally about maybe 3 of their favorite plays or most used plays are running plays, but, you know, definitely in San Antonio's scheme of things, establishing the run is really important.
2nd and 15. And another whistle. Too much time that time, I do believe. Not a great beginning for the Texans to answer that superb drive by the Tiger Cats.
Time count violation. San Antonio number 18. 2nd down repeated.
Well, as a team, they throw the ball well, San Antonio. You know, we just talked about how they like to establish the run, but, you know, at 59% as a team, that's awfully high. As you can see how well they rank in that category in the CFL.
This is 2nd and 20. Archer had trouble with a snap. And he was lucky to get back and get control of the ball. Ticat defense really didn't have to do anything in that sequence, and look where they forced San Antonio back near the 15-yard line.
John, you know, I make it a point to really watch how teams warm up, and, you know, sometimes you get a really good indication, are they ready to play, or you know, a feeling of how they're going to be. And San Antonio had a horrible warm-up. I mean, they weren't completing balls, and they were throwing interceptions to their own defense. And, you know, now they come out in the opening series and have all kinds of things go around. 2 time counts, a bad snap, and, boy, this isn't the way you want to start a game on the road, especially when Hamilton scores on their opening drive.
Yeah, Todd Jordan has to get it deep here. Going to Sam Rogers. Bouncing across the 45 and well covered by the Texans special teams. Tony Burst leading the tacklers. The return is 3. Ticats have their hands back on the ball with a 7-0 lead.
Introducing the new Mercury Mystique. It has available all-speed traction control, a Micron air filter that removes dust and pollen, and the new 24-valve, fuel-efficient Duratec V6 engine. Yet, even though Mystique is equipped like a luxury car, it's priced thousands of dollars less. Because the last time we looked, money still didn't grow on trees. Drive the all-new Mercury Mystique.
Imagine adhesives so strong they help hold together 100 tons of soaring transportation. Imagine a fabric so bright it lets you see an accident in time to prevent it. Imagine a single disc so powerful it can store almost everything imaginable and protect it for a lifetime. These products and thousands more that make our lives better exist because the people at 3M imagine.
Welcome back to Ivor Wynn. It's been all Tiger Cats so far. A solid opening drive for the 7-0 advantage. And the Hamilton offense back on the field.
John, we talked already about the rushing and who likes to and who doesn't really like to. You can see San Antonio, how important it is to their overall scheme of things. Now, Hamilton is 9th in the league, and, you know, that's a little misleading because since Steve Taylor has taken over as the #1 quarterback, their rushing totals have gotten better and better each game. So although they're 9th in the league, they run the ball as a team a lot better than they did at the beginning of the season.
The other intangible for Hamilton is they get the ball to Kalen Hall on passes sometimes, and Don Southern considers that part of his running game.
Well, I don't think there's any question. A swing pass to Kalen Hall is a high percentage, and, you know, it's the same as running a sweep or something. Now, he only touched the ball 11 times totally last week against Shreveport. He has to touch it more than that.
On 1st down, Taylor has Kalen Hall coming out of the backfield, well read by the San Antonio Texans. That's Grady Cavness coming up to make the tackle. And if that name sounds familiar, Grady Cavness Sr. played some great years with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and the BC Lions in the secondary. He was an all-star with the Bombers in 1972 and an all-star with the BC Lions in 1977. Grady Cavness Sr. And here's Junior out there in his first start.
Yeah, Junior's worked his way into the lineup. He's been the extra defensive back. Now he gets to be a starter tonight.
2nd and 9 as Taylor goes to the far side. Manny Hazard had it and had nowhere to go. Jason Wallace stared him down and had time to get some help over to make the tackle on Hazard.
And what this defense for San Antonio does, it's a bend and don't break kind of defense. Bill Bradley, their defensive coordinator, likes to play it that way. Here's Jason Wallace out here. He's just got this area, so when Manny Hazard catches the ball out here, I mean, it looks good. Hey, he looks like he's wide open. Nice pass to complete now. But look at how Jason Wallace is right there, and Gerhardt's going to show up. When you got 2nd and 8 or 9 against this ball club, when you throw underneath, yeah, they're good passes to complete, but it's going to be tough to make first down.
Here's Paul Osbaldiston. Solid kick for Ozzie down inside the 15. And this is Wallace on the return. Markers are down as Wallace is hit by Blaine Schmidt. 5 yards on the return after a 49-yard punt. Penalty going against San Antonio.
San Antonio's opening series was absolutely horrible one with a couple of penalties and a bad snap, and now this penalty is going to set Kay Stevenson's offense up in a real hole.
San Antonio number 10, first down.
Malcolm Frank, the guilty party on the illegal block. So again, the Texans begin deep in their own zone.
First down, 10 yards to go, ball on their 7-yard line.
The offense is not clicking. Look at that number, -14 compared to the Ticats.
And this is a turnover-prone offense.
Archer faked the run. Will he get it away? Look for Martin Wise, and it was Marcus Cotton supplying the pressure on David Archer.
And, you know, that's one of these coverage kind of sacks here, or pressures, and Marcus Cotton working so hard. I mean, you know, here he is at the top. He keeps coming and coming now. Keep in mind, this is against play action. Archer had all kinds of time to throw. I mean, give the secondary credit for that one. And once again, as John, you mentioned in the opening, Archer takes a pretty good shot. He takes a lot of them.
2nd and 10. Texans near the 5. Archer stands back and fired low and away. Kittrick Taylor, number 85, was the intended receiver, but there was never a chance that was going to be a completion.
Well, Hamilton plays situational defense so well. Once again, here, Marcus Cotton working on Rob Stevenson. Rob Stevenson, boy, he better get that good footwork going tonight, because Cotton looks like he's fired up. Move to the outside, boom, in, and he was almost there. But, you know, Derek Greer, the corner, was snugged up on Kittrick Taylor. He knew at 2nd and 10, Archer's not going deep. These guys on Hamilton, they really play the situation smartly.
Rogers and Greer, deep for the Tiger Cats. Todd Jordan, not a deep kick. Rogers had trouble, and who recovered near the 40-yard line? Looks like the Ticats.
Yeah, he got it back. Taken by Rogers.
Ticats have another break. First down at the 40 when we return to Ivor Wynn in Hamilton.
First down, Tiger Cat.
The all-new Mercury Mystique drives like no other car in its class. With 4-wheel independent suspension, a 16-valve Z-Tech engine that delivers the best highway fuel economy in its class, as well as 14 other features not found on any other car in its class. As for the rest, class dismissed. Drive the all-new Mercury Mystique.
We're in a garbage crisis. One reason McCain chose to pack their juices in these aseptic boxes rather than non-refillable glass bottles. 1-liter aseptic packages use 88% less material than non-refillable glass, generate 85% less solid waste, consume 62% less energy. Plus, it would take 30 trucks to ship 1 million empty 1-liter glass bottles to their factories and just 2 to ship the equivalent in aseptic packaging.
McCain made their choice for the environment.
Ticats on top, 7-0 on the San Antonio Texans at Ivor Wynn.
Boy, it's Steve Taylor, what a start he's been off to tonight. Perfect so far, 5 of 5. But hey, remember a week ago against Shreveport, they scored on their opening drive just as they did tonight. But then they went south for about 2.5 quarters, and one of the things that, you know, like I make some notes about what does Hamilton have to do on offense tonight to win this game. They can't take 2.5 quarters off again and rely on their defense. They have to keep some sort of pressure on San Antonio's defense with a little better consistency. I mean, you don't always have to score points, but you have to move the ball enough to have a bit of consistency. And, you know, that's what Don Southern talked about yesterday, too.
And talking about 5 for 5, that's what Cavillo was when he came in relief of Steve Taylor in the 4th quarter last week. 5 for 5, tossed for a touchdown, and ran for 1.
You know, it's interesting when you look at the quarterbacks, and don't forget Mike Kerrigan, who's number 3. He came in early in the year against Birmingham and did a heck of a job to help them win the game. So each quarterback in Hamilton's system has won a game for them.
1st and 10, Ticats from the 40. Here comes the charge. Taylor unloads in a hurry, looking deep far side, and no chance for Larry Thompson with a coverage by Jason Wallace that time.
2nd and 10 for the Tiger Cats on the 40.
Well, Larry Thompson, you know, he's still got some terrific speed. He's been slowed down a little bit with a leg injury he had a few years ago. There's that look of the zone. Hey, Bobby Humphrey jumps up on the flat, and Jason Wallace picks him up deep. But as a quarterback, you're thinking, oh, they've blown the coverage. He's wide open. But, you know, that's the illusion of the zone, and San Antonio plays a ton of zone. It's a soft kind of defense.
Thompson, 2 receptions last week for 27 yards. 2nd and 10, Ticats. Taylor away from the first rush and gets it away somehow. Looking for Nurse, and it's almost intercepted in the end zone. Grady Canvas got in front of it. And so the Ticats had to 3rd down. It was Leonard Nelson with the pressure on the Ticat quarterback Taylor that time.
One of the things that makes San Antonio defense good is they don't blitz a lot. But when they do, sometimes it's a bit of a surprise. And look at the gap they create for Leonard Nelson coming right up the middle now. How does he miss it? Kalen Hall misses him right there. See, that's his man. And, you know, that's just enough to throw Steve Taylor off. And he's very fortunate that Richard Nurse made the play here to stop the interception by Cavness. There's Leonard. His job's on the line. You know, they've signed Maurice Miller, who was their starting middle linebacker a year ago. So, you know, he better play well tonight.
Here's Paulos Pauliston. He was perfect last week, and so far, so good tonight. 47-yard field goal for us. Pauliston. That was a line drive leap. Not much height on that one.
Yeah, I don't know what Ozzy's been eating, but he's taken a little sip out of the fountain of youth, because all of a sudden now, late in his career, he's 8 out of 10 from over 40 yards. He's never punted better in his life. In fact, he leads the league in net punting. So, hey, whatever he's doing, whatever kind of workout program he's on, it agrees with him.
Interesting that Olisic was the punter as this Tiger Cat team unveiled its roster in 1995. He got hurt as Pauliston came in, and he's been kicking the lights out as a punter, averaging 46.2 yards for a net of 42, which is excellent.
Well, you see that 3rd one there, that net, 42.1 net. Now, I mean, he's only had 25 punts, so out of the top 10 punters in the league, I mean, that's not a lot of attempted punts. But still, the net is the net. I mean, that is a heck of a number. You look at who's closest to him. It's Josh Miller in Baltimore at 41.4 on the net. So, and that's over a yard. Yard's big in punting.
Cates and Lucas are deep for the Texans. After the Ticat field goal, Hamilton on top, 10-0 with 4:01 to go in the opening quarter at Ivor Wynn. This is David Lucas right on the 20-yard line. Great seam opens up the middle for Lucas, and he's stopped by Nurse near the 50. 29-yard return, which is excellent.
First down, San Antonio.
Lucas led the Eastern Division with 832 kickoff return yards in 1994.
In 1993, he played right here in Hamilton, so he's pretty familiar with Ivor Wynn Stadium. Now, for Kay Stevenson, he calls all the plays, has total input with the offense. I mean, this is a horrible start. Last series deep in their own end. Now they're at their 49-yard line. You got to expect a little bit better now from David Archer in his 3rd series.
They keep it on the ground out near the 50. It's Troy Mills, number 20. Mills in his first game with the San Antonio Texans. Had a tryout with the 49ers and then with the Cardinals, and just signed a contract this week.
Yeah, those are his numbers. He was just released by Arizona last Monday, signed, and the offense hadn't changed that much, so he's able to get in the game and play. And with those kind of numbers, you know, Kay Stevenson wanted to get him in fast.
2nd and 5. Archer from the shotgun stands in over the middle on target. It is Mike Saunders down to the Ticat 35. Hassan Bailey on the tackle, number 7. Nice looking play.
Well, this is the tough thing about Mike Saunders. You know, number one, you say we want to slow this guy's running down, but hey, you know, he can beat you receiving 255 catches a year ago, and now his 22nd reception. And you know, for Hassan Bailey, who's a 4.5 sprinter himself, he had trouble staying with Mike Saunders. He got some good speed.
Nifty 20-yard gain for Saunders. Texans near the 35. Archer over the middle again and on target once more. Bailey in the area. Saunders not the receiver that time. Myron Wise, number 82, has 20 yards.
Well, you look at this San Antonio receiving core, and the thing I like about it is, I mean, they've got 6 receivers that are all interchangeable. Myron Wise is not listed as a starter, but he comes in and, you know, makes his 11th catch of the year and is a contributor. But, this, you know, this is 6 receivers who all can play every spot.
Texans 1st and 10 at the 15. Archer swings it out for Kralik. And he's down near the 5-yard line. Grabbed there by number 95, Sean Smith.
Sean Smith on the tackle for the Cats.
He's had a solid season. Smith has 4.5 speed. And Kralik over 500 yards receiving coming into the game and 4 touchdowns.
You know, it's kind of interesting. You know, you think about a game and what might evolve in the game, and here we're saying, well, it's so important for San Antonio to get that running game going, and you know, all of a sudden this whole drive they haven't run the ball once, and they've thrown every time, and look how much they've been able to accomplish by it.
Texans are 2nd and 2 at the Ticat 7. This is Mike Saunders, room to the outside, and he'll score. Mike Saunders into the end zone for his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. Explosive backfield when you add Saunders alongside Troy Mills.
Well, you look, you know, Troy Mills, number 20, the fullback in this scheme all of a sudden. What a block he made, and Darren Mullenberg comes around the corner, and before you know it, that's a pretty easy trip into the end zone for Mike Saunders. So, you know, San Antonio, give them credit. They needed to do that. They're down by 10. All of a sudden, they answer back. All started with the good field position, starting on their own 49-yard line. A little better spot for David Archer to operate from.
And the 7th point of the evening for the Texans by Roman Anderson. Saunders into the end zone from 7 yards away, and it's a 3-point ball game all of a sudden. Saunders had a couple of super seasons with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Ended up with San Antonio as a free agent after the 1994 season.
You wonder why Mike Saunders got in the end zone so easily. Watch Troy Mills, the fullback. Hey, here's Sam Rogers, the defensive back. You got Darren Mullenberg coming around the corner. But watch Sam Rogers, 31. You know, he gets put right back into the end zone. Now, hey, you want to try and get big, get up under your shoulder pads. But, whoa, that's called a turf job. He just got turf. And Mike Saunders, he ran that one in pretty easily. He knew it. About 5 yards to the goal line, he could just coast because he knew there was nobody that had a chance to stop him. But Troy Mills, 1,200 yards rushing a year ago, but now as a fullback with a terrific block at short yardage.
Mills knocked Sam a little silly on the block on that play to spring it for Mike Saunders, perhaps his easiest touchdown of the season, number 5.
I'll guarantee you, when they get back to San Antonio and they watch the film of this game, you know, Kay Stevens is going to have that offense together, and that projector's going to just be clicking and clicking, back and forth, and he's going to tell the guy, hey, that's what football is all about.
Coming down to Derek Greer at the 10. Has a little room to the near side if he can get around. Number 7, Jason Wallace, but he couldn't. 13 yards on the return after a 65-yard kickoff. And the Texans engineered a solid 5-play drive to cover 61 yards. Saunders into the end zone from 6 yards away.
Cats on their 23-yard line.
Yeah, the only time they ran the ball on that play was Saunders' scoring drive. Well, you look at the Ticats and where they were a year ago to where they are now. And this year, 4 wins, 3 losses. Last year, really struggling, 2 wins. Of course, went on that season to only have 4 wins the entire year, which they've equaled now. So is this team improved? You bet you it is.
Both teams have improved. 1st and 10 Ticats at the 23. Some early movements, and that draws a flag. as Kalen Hall squirts through for about 5 yards. Hall is averaging 5 yards a carry. And offside against the Texans.
Offside. San Antonio to number 58. First down repeated.
Dave Harper was offside. 6 penalties totaling 51 yards, and one set up a pretty easy Hamilton touchdown down at the goal line. That was the interference call in the end zone. Ticats 1st and 5, Hamilton 28. Taylor over the middle and a big hit on the intended receiver, Kalen Hall. That was Leonard Nelson.
That was a pretty tentative throw by Steve Taylor. You know, as a quarterback, sometimes you're expecting coverage, and for some reason, you know, he's thinking blitz right here, quick. And all of a sudden, he lets that thing fly, and Kalen Hall gets hammered on the play, and Grady Cavness had a chance for the interception, but Taylor was expecting some sort of blitz. He didn't get it, and maybe he should have just thrown that one in the stands.
Hall is over on the sideline seeing stars. That puts McAdoo in the Ticat backfield. Here's Taylor on 2nd and 5. Has to hurry it. He's got Manny Hazard, and Hazard has a first down. Wallace made the tackle on Manny Hazard on the final play of the opening quarter. Kalen Hall shaking it off on the Tiger Cat sidelines. It's Hamilton leading by 3.
Welcome back to CFL Control. You know, it is the stuff of legends, and the legend of Monica Seles continues to grow. At the Demorier Limited Canadian Open Tennis Tournament, Seles in the semifinals this afternoon, taking on the 6-seeded Gabriella Sabatini. And this was not even close. Seles had the powerful ground game going all day long. She pounds the two-handed backhander for the winner in the corner. Seles wins the first set 6-1. Second set, frustrating for Gabby. Seles continues to pick her apart. Seles wins 6-love. 6-1, 6-love. How long did it take? 49 minutes. Monica Seles is once again redefining herself as one of the best female tennis players in the world, if not the best. She advances to the final, where she will face either Amanda Coetzer or Yana Novotná. Coetzer, a great story as well, unseeded. Novotná, the 4th seed. Coetzer currently leads her 5-3 in the first set. One of the CFL games going to take place tonight in about a half hour's time. Baltimore's in Memphis. The Stallions, they are coming off back-to-back losses. You know that Don Matthews is somewhat bitter about that. We'll have highlights of this football game a little bit later on in the show. Let's head back to Iverwin Stadium. We got ourselves a real good game, and I wonder how Kalen Hall's feeling now.
Well, I don't think he's feeling all that well right now, Darren. He's staring kind of blankly ahead as the medical staff takes a close look. He took a real big hit just a couple of plays ago. So taking no chances at the Hamilton bench for Kalen Hall.
See, the eyes tell the whole story right there. I mean, that is a faraway look in those eyes right now. That's not that intense look. That's the faraway job. And when that happens, you know he's been dinged.
Numbers from the opening quarter. And one of the key stories, number of penalties taken by the San Antonio Texans, 6 for 51 yards. Ticats with 6 first downs, 50 yards passing, and a net total of 60 yards for the Ticats, and no penalties so far.
Well, I like that time of possession in Hamilton's favor. You know, one of the things, if you want to make David Archer beat you by throwing, is to keep him off the field, too, and they did a pretty good job of that.
1st and 10 Tiger Cats, beginning at the 37. Taylor has that one batted down. It's up for grabs. Knocked down, or at least up by Jeff Sawyer, and it hung up in the air for a bit. But no one was able to come down with a football. So it'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, you mentioned Jeff Sawyer, John. He was the first pick by San Antonio in the dispersal draft from Las Vegas, and he's a heck of a defensive end. He's been hurt, and finally back in the lineup tonight. They'll rotate him in, but he was a heck of a player with Las Vegas last year. He's really going to help this club.
16 starts in '94 with a posse. He had 4 sacks. 2nd and 10 Tiger Cats here. Taylor stands in and delivers for Earl Winfield. Slightly off target. Malcolm Frank was on the coverage.
3rd and 10 for the Cats.
Kalen Hall will be on the sidelines for quite some time. It would appear he's got a first-degree concussion, according to our reports from the bench.
Look at those eyes. I mean, the eyes, they tell you everything on that one.
And another Tiger Cat shaken up. Number 55, Doug Davies. Played with the Stampeders in 1994.
Yeah, you look at free agent signings that Hamilton made, and that was a big one to get Doug Davies. He had helped the Stampeders, and Hamilton needed some offensive linemen, and it's been good for Hamilton to get him in there.
Injury timeout at Iverwin in Hamilton with 14:21 to go till halftime. It's the Ticats on tap, but only by 3.
From headlights to transmission fluid to tires, inside, outside, top to bottom, Canadian Tire has you covered. Because we have the experience that comes from servicing over 10,000 cars every day and more than 65,000 auto parts and products, which means we help maintain more cars than anyone. So whatever you need, come to the one place with everything, Canadian Tire. There's a lot more for your car for a lot less.
Introducing a cereal from Kellogg's. Kellogg's Corn Flakes. Taste them again for the first time.
CFL Live, brought to you in part by 3M Canada, imagining the unthinkable and developing the unknown. That's 3M Innovation at Work.
4004.
Doug Davies finally up and headed to the Tiger Cat sidelines.
Boy, glad to see that. He really took a bad shot. I mean, this is tough. Here's Oscar Giles right here, and, he will be pushed right in. Davies doing a heck of a job out there. Look how far he's got his man away from the quarterback. You do a great job, and all of a sudden, the big old guy falls on the back of your leg, and I'm glad to see him get up walking off. That looked awful. You never know. You're in that pit, and guys are banging at you from everywhere, and there's Oscar Giles. He fell right on him.
Osbaldiston is in. You think he's thinking about the one that was blocked and about this spot in the Shreveport game that almost turned it around for the Pirates last week.
We talked about that. He said, I never saw the guy coming. Sometimes you see them, and that time I didn't see a thing.
Markers are already down as it rolls past Gates and down near the 20. And another marker down in that area. Andrew Martin was leading the Ticat tacklers 2 yards on the return. A couple of penalties to sort out for Don Ellis here. One going against the Tiger Cats. 2 going against the Tiger Cats from those 2 indications.
John, I don't usually get too involved in the rules, but, I love the CFL game, love everything about it except the no yards penalty. I mean, this is one that I hear fans talk about, players talk about. We'll hear the call.
No yards, Hamilton, 5 yards, decline, holding Hamilton. That penalty is accepted. First down.
The fans tell me, I agree with it. They want to see this no yards gone. And I know what the premise behind it is to encourage a punt return on every punt. To try and get more action into the game. And yeah, in principle, that's good. But there's just too many no yards penalties right now. The players, it's undisciplined. There's no excuse for it. But boy, oh boy, does it slow the game down.
Texans 1st and 10 beginning at the 29. This is Mike Saunders trying the left side and slowed from behind by Jesse Small, number 97.
Hassan Bailey on the tackle.
Saunders signed as a free agent. Over 1,200 yards for the Saskatchewan Roughriders in 1994 out of Iowa, playing in his 3rd CFL season.
Number 2 in rushing right now. Only Mike Pringle has more yardage on the ground, and there you see his numbers, and that translates into about 4.9 yards a carry, which is excellent.
5 on the previous play for Saunders. 2nd and 5 for Archer here. And almost grabbed by Sean Smith, who
Archer's pass knocked down
had his
by
hands
Sean
on it.
Smith.
Sean Smith, who, as Don Southern said, has just been able to get better and better every time. Look, he's reading into the eyes of David Archer, and when that ball is in the air, he reacts to it, gets the left hand up, and that's a heck of a play. Played for Frankfurt in the World League and played all 10 games. Now, if he plays all games this year, I mean, that's 28 games in a short period of time. That's a lot of football.
Maybe a little too much football for any one individual.
When we talk about physical size, though, Sean Smith, 6'3", 230, and still runs the 40 and 4.5 speed. Boy, he's the kind of guy you want to have a look at, and he's played well.
Better kick this time for Jordan. This is Derek Greer. And there's nowhere to go for Derek Greer on the return. Just 5 yards after a 41-yard punt.
Giles on the tackle.
That guy's having a great season, number 31, Sam Rogers.
Yeah, and here's old Sam coming down now. He's remembering Troy Mills just turfed him on the goal line, and you know, sooner or later he's going to get a lick on somebody. There he takes on Tony Burse right there, but you know, once you've been hammered one time, you're going to spend a good part of a quarter trying to find somebody else that you can put a lick on, and he got one back right there.
Steve Taylor doing a solid job for the Ticats so far. There's a marker down, and Taylor escapes. He'll have enough yardage for the first down.
Steve Taylor, the ball carrier.
Checking on the infraction first, however.
Spears and Harper on the tackle. We've got flag on the play.
Ready for the call?
Offside. San Antonio, number 97. Penalties decline. First down.
A little doubt about taking the first down there. And Jeff Sawyer jumped across early.
Now, opening drive for Hamilton, 49 yards and a touchdown. You see what they've done the last three, and boy, this is very similar to what they did a week ago. And boy, they must come out of the locker room all fired up, and for some reason they lose their intensity.
First down, Tiger Cats, and that's Derek McAdoo.
The ball carrier.
4, maybe 5 yards for number 19, Derek McAdoo.
Sawyer on the tackle.
And Sawyer was in on the tackle. McAdoo has the Ticat touchdown from a yard away tonight.
Ball on the 54-yard line.
I don't think anybody's more aware of this than Steve Taylor, that, you know, he got off to the great start, and now he wants to try and keep it going. So you know how important this drive is after they've had a couple of bad ones.
They call it a gain of 3, making this 2nd and 7. Taylor has a little time, stands in, looks deep. Manny Hazard and Thompson in the area. Thompson couldn't bring it down.
Oh, and had he caught that football, there was a coverage breakdown in the San Antonio secondary. That was a freebie. That was an easy 6. For some reason, Steve Taylor just couldn't get it into him.
Got one hand on it, couldn't quite bring it home.
There's nobody, look it, there's nobody anywhere near him. Look, there's nobody anywhere in that whole universe. Look at this. Nobody there. Hey, that's, oh, I mean, those are ones you go back and look at the film tomorrow, and you just say, boy, did we ever lose one there? That was an easy, sure 6.
Osbaldiston, low kick, and he angled that out of bounds. There's a marker down in the end zone this time. Larry Thompson thinking about what might have been.
Amen. San Antonio. First down.
Oh my gosh, too many men. And it'll be a Ticat first down. Kay Stevenson's problems continue. The Ticats remain on top.
There are no prizes for making someone smile. No tributes for unlocking life's little mysteries. But to the men who give their best every day, we give our best. Gillette Sensor XL. Spring-mounted twin blades that adjust to your face, and soft, flexible microfins that set up your beard, and Gillette Series aftershave conditioner to moisturize your skin. Sensor XL for the closest, most comfortable shave ever. Gillette, the best a man can get.
The Canadian Football League 1995 Facts, Figures, and Records book. It's your source for the landmark play, the vital stats, the award-winning players, the complete rules, and the outstanding performances all the way to the Grey Cup. To order your copy, call 1-800-667-1251.
A diamond is forever, and great cities have their diamonds. You could win a solitaire diamond engagement ring and a trip to San Francisco. Or you could win one of 3 $1,500 diamond gift certificates by entering a Diamond is Forever contest at People's Jewelers. Go to People's Jewelers and fill out an entry form. Match the names of famous baseball diamonds with the correct cities, and you could win. And remember, a diamond is forever.
Ticats on top 10-7 after a penalty for too many men on the field, and they're still steamed on the San Antonio sideline.
Well, Bob Matos is the special teams coach, and he's just been storming on. There he is. There's Bob right there. I mean, the blood pressure is at an all-time high right now because, you know, that's his responsibility, you know, to make sure that, hey, listen, I mean, ultimately the players are, but, I mean, that's his team, that's his expertise, and they made a mistake to give a team a first down in a critical area of the field, and he's wild.
It will be a Hamilton first down at the 45, 10:51 to halftime. As Taylor stands in, goes deep one more time, looking for Winfield, yes. 44 yards, Winfield's first catch of the night. You gotta love the way number 1 plays football, Leif.
You gotta love the way he locates and finds footballs, and hey, that was a tough catch that he was able to make 7 times. He's done that this year. You know, that's one thing Don Southern said yesterday. Teams are sitting on our receivers. We've got to go downtown to loosen some secondaries up, and with good protection up front. That's a throw that Steve Taylor's saying, I hope my guy can go up and fight for the ball. Winfield did it, and he does it more often than not. Earl got a touchdown last week, and I was talking and shaking his hand before the game. He came and grabbed me today. He says, I got to shake your hand. You're my good luck charm.
Convert is added. Winfield got touchdowns in his first 5 games for the Tiger Cats this season. And now he has his first tonight, 7th on the season receiving, working here against Malcolm Frank.
Yeah, Malcolm Frank tries to locate the football, but it's just too late. I mean, that's a terrific adjustment to make on that catch. But, you know, you talk about, look at here, they try the stunt right here, and watch the solid protection on this side of the offensive line. You wonder why touchdowns are scored. Well, 12 men are doing the right thing, and Doug Davies, he passes him off to Richardson. See, he's passed him off to Richardson right there. Willie Fears, and now you got the good protection from James King right there. Looking for Steve Taylor. Hey, great sight lines downfield to find Winfield, but you know, an offensive line that has really come together in the last few weeks. They struggled against Toronto, played better last week against Shreveport, and now tonight that's a good pickup on the stunt. You get the touchdown out of it.
Earl Winfield, lots of touchdowns in his CFL career.
Shale, Ariel, Tanisha, Shaniqua, my brother Joe, Jay, Jimmy, Betty, my mom, I love you all, everybody around the way.
I don't think he missed a soul. Got them all in. Lucas has trouble. It bounces back at the 1-yard line. Away now. Lucas forced out by number 4, Roger Henne.
Lucas takes Ozzy's kickoff. Run into touch by Roger Henne.
32-yard return. After he bobbled this.
For the Texans on the 34-yard line.
Boy, sometimes this happens, you know, you drop the kickoff. Everybody see them easing up just a little bit coming down there, and all of a sudden, boom, when they ease up, he finds a crack and makes a good play out of a potentially bad play.
So David Archer gets his hands back on the ball. Hitting on 67% of his passes so far, 3 of 7 tonight. Archer sideline. No catch. Myron Wise, the intended receiver, and Smith was in the area. So is Eric Carter. Here's the Ticats scoring drive. 5 plays to cover 68 yards. Winfield on the 44-yard reception. A touchdown that the Texans are saying shouldn't have been after they took a penalty.
Well, and you wonder why Bob Matos, the special teams coach, is burning. that too many men on the special teams cost his team a touchdown.
Second and 10, Texans. Here comes the heat on Archer. Stands in, found the release man. O'Shea brought him down. It's Troy Mills. Troy Mills couldn't get away from Michael O'Shea. Tough to find a bigger hero in Hamilton than number 59.
Well, they love this guy, and you know, here's middle linebacker. You're going to get to follow him the whole play, back and forth. You wonder why they do these drills in practice to work on your speed and agility. He breaks down, and makes a good tackle on Troy Mills there. But you know, that's a nice look. You get to be the middle linebacker. It's back and forth. Then you got to make the play, and he did.
Todd Jordan back at his 25. Rogers and Greer deep for the Ticats. Sam Rogers calls for it near the 20. He's taken one all the way at 95. Not that time. Rogers with a 113-yard punt return touchdown earlier. 14 yards there, and Oscar Giles made the tackle.
Well, you know, a funny story about Sam Rogers. Wayne Giardino and Don Southern were, you know, looking and scouting another player down at the University of Texas El Paso. They were watching some film and really interested. And all of a sudden they said, who's this defensive back? And it was Sam Rogers. They said, well, we got to sign this kid. So, you know, they were looking at somebody else, and they end up signing Sam Rogers out of watching some film, and what a find he's been for them.
Special teams and in the secondary.
What a crazy way you get to pro football sometimes.
Little play action for Taylor on first down. Look for Thompson again, and he couldn't catch up to it. Humphrey was covering on Larry Thompson, and Taylor was down on the turf.
Steve Taylor you're right, he took a heck of a hit. It's Willie Fears right here. You know, this isn't a lot of sophisticated pass rushes coming from San Antonio. Most of the time they just stay in their lanes, will stunt every once in a while, but this is just a little extra work here. He gets by Doug Davies, full head of steam, and Steve Taylor, you got that little right arm down to kind of shield the blow a little bit, but that's a tough hit by a big man.
Willie Fears, 18 starts in 94, 4 sacks, played a little in Winnipeg, a little in Ottawa, before ending up in Texas. Taylor on first, second and 10, it's McAdoo, and he has the first down for the Ticats. Wallace made the tackle on Derek McAdoo. He picked up 12. McAdoo in relief of Kalen Hall.
And when you throw underneath the coverage on second and 10, the only hope you have is if your back can make somebody miss. McAdoo made Gerhardt miss, and they get the first down.
Ticats up near the 46 now with 7:49 till halftime. Taylor on target for Winfield again. Nicely in first down range, but there's a marker down near the 45. We'll check that out. Gerhardt on the tackle on Winfield with Hamilton leading 17-7. And this penalty going against
illegal procedure. Hamilton number 1. First down repeated.
Against Earl. Must have got a little jump here, Leifer.
Well, they called his number in the huddle. You know, every play, you know, the pass pattern, they sometimes say, well, X does this and Z does this. They probably said, okay, the formation, X curl. That's Earl's number. And so he's thinking, boy, this is coming to me. I better run a good route. And he just jumped the gun a little bit.
First and 15, Ticats at the 40. Here comes the heat on Taylor. Can't get to him, but forced an errant throw intended for Thompson. And Bobby Humphrey had his mitts on at first, couldn't hang on. Humphrey with 2 interceptions so far in 1995.
I'll tell you, that's twice now that defensive backs for San Antonio have had chances. Watch Bobby Humphrey right here. Now, when he covers that out, Larry Thompson comes in and turns into the defensive back. We saw Richard Nurse do this earlier to break up one down the goal line. Now Bobby Humphrey, look how quickly he closes onto the football, and you know that's often just a late throw.
Second and 15. Taylor to his right, throwing on the run, and that one almost grabbed by Grady Cadmus, number 24. So Taylor has stalled a little bit here.
And what Taylor has to do is talk to Dieter Brock right now, the offensive coordinator. There he is, and then get upstairs with Terry Greer, the receiver coach, because what San Antonio is doing on defense, they play a lot of zone coverage, but their two inside halfbacks slide way out and try and get underneath the outs by the wide receivers, and that leaves the curl lanes wide open. I mean, Winfield was open on the one that he got called for offside, but that's the area that Hamilton has to attack. You know, you look at other teams like Baltimore and that, they give you the out. This team does not give you the out. You've got to throw inside.
Osbaldiston has it bounced back near the 30-yard line. Ticats scrambling to get out of the way. And no penalties down. Texans will have it near the 38 after a 31-yard Osbaldiston punt.
Let's go.
Hamilton
Stay over
on
here
top by 10.
You can't come all over here. Come on, guys.
Imagine adhesives so strong they help hold together 100 tons of soaring transportation. Imagine a fabric so bright it lets you see an accident in time to prevent it. Imagine a single disc so powerful it can store almost everything imaginable and protect it for a lifetime. These products and thousands more that make our lives better exist because the people at 3M imagine.
Medium deep on 2. Ready? Break! Red 2! Red 2! Ready, set! Hot 1! Hot 2!
Right now at Pizza Hut, order any 2 medium or large pizzas at regular price and get a free 2-liter bottle of Pepsi. But you gotta ask for it.
Kay Stevenson down by 10 to the Hamilton Tiger Cats at Ivor Wynn.
John, it was our first occasion to have a chat with Kay Stevenson this year. It was interesting to hear his reaction about the move to San Antonio and, you know, how the fans had reacted to this new team. And, you know, it wasn't surprising what he said. He said they've been slow to react. It's a show-me kind of city, which is not hard to figure out. But, you know, like fans down in the southern United States are not ready for football in the summer. I mean, you know, teams are, NFL's in training camp. Colleges are just in training camp now, and they're not really football oriented for July and August yet. So that's going to be one of the hurdles and the transitions that this franchise will have to overcome. Attendance has been getting better and better, but I think that's because they're getting closer to Labor Day.
And that's when the football season truly begins in this country too. I think the CFL has to push its schedule back for all teams.
And still play a Grey Cup in Regina?
Well, it may not be possible this year. That's Mills. Obviously not possible this year. Philbrick in on the tackle. That's Michael Philbrick, number 99. Couple of sacks on the season for Michael, who's having another solid year. In his 3rd season out of Carlton, they really like this guy.
I like the enthusiasm and the zest that he plays this game with. I mean, this guy, young guy that knows he's going to be good. He works hard in practice, studies a lot of film, and you can see it in the way he's performed.
2nd and 7 for the Texans. The San Antonio 40. Here's Archer. And missed his target at the 50-yard line.
Archer's pass for Gamble goes
looking that time for David Gamble, number 6. A couple of starts in 94 for the Texans. He is the all-time leading receiver at New Hampshire.
Archer's reaction is one that, you know, David Gamble doesn't get a lot of playing time, and that's a timing pattern on that out. David Archer sets up and he throws to a spot, and according to Archer's way of thinking, Gamble was a little late in coming out of his break.
Archer got on 4 of 10 for 54 yards so far. Greer and Rogers are back, waiting for Todd Jordan's punt. So let's watch Sammy run. Not this time, out across the 35, about the 37, 10 yards on the return. 42-yard punt. Jeff Sawyer made the tackle. Is he getting happy over there yet?
He's kind of got out of that grumpy mood where his special teams had too many men, you know, but he's happy with the coverage on that play. He's over that now until he watches the film tomorrow. And I'll guarantee you that blood pressure will go right skyrocket again.
Only 12 players allowed in this game, not 13, and that was the call against San Antonio that set up a Hamilton touchdown. Taylor good on 8 of 17 for 106 yards and a long touchdown to Earl Winfield. Over the middle in heavy traffic, and he has a completion. Nurse right on the 55-yard line. Reliable guy to have around, number 85, Richard Nurse. Picks up 18.
Yeah, he ran the good pattern early that caused the interference, set them up on the 1-yard line. They scored their opening touchdown, and now he makes the good catch over the middle. He's playing for Andrew Grigg, who is a fine young slot back. He's out with a staph infection in his knee. But Richard Nurse, I mean, that's a good catch over the middle. You know you're going to take the hit, but you're willing to hang on at the same time.
1st and 10, Ticats in midfield. This is Manny Hazard out of bounds after grabbing a first down. Bobby Humphrey was covering on Hazard that time. So Taylor has it going again.
And what Taylor is looking at on this particular pattern, he's watching Jason Wallace. If he takes some steps back, this is the guy he hits right out here, Manny Hazard. That's the quick read. As soon as Wallace goes back, boom, you're throwing the out to your inside guy. Perfect read by Taylor, easy ball to complete. But the key is you read that inside halfback, especially against a team like San Antonio who plays so much zone.
This is Derek McAdoo. Stopped by the first rush, and he made a good play out of it. Wallace submarined him. But McAdoo ran into trouble on his initial try at the line. Spun around and found a couple of yards.
I think for the Hamilton Tiger Cats to run these draws, and if they get into some screens, that's a good hit by Wallace. And, you know, the ground, that wouldn't have been a fumble because the ground caused it, but the San Antonio front four is a tough team to screen and draw against because they really don't get upfield like some other defensive front fours do. So I think you're better off staying away from those types of plays.
2nd and 5. Taylor goes to Lee Knight over the middle. He'll have a first down. Tiger Cats inside the 25. Gerhardt made the tackle. You look at Knight and you look at Richard Nurse, reliable veterans on this Tiger Cat team. Come up with big plays back-to-back.
Well, you have to like the way Lee Knight plays this game. He's 6'3", 230 pounds, and mostly he's the blocking back, but he chips in with some good catches. Has yet to carry the ball this year. He's not overworked in that department, but talk about dependable. That's what he gives you.
Ticats now at the 25. Taylor looks to the far side for Nurse again, wide open. Good move to grab a couple of extra yards. He'll have a first down. He's been great on this drive. Willie Fears made the tackle.
I think one of the traps that San Antonio is falling into right now is just the same coverage look on every down, and these Hamilton receivers are reading it perfectly. So is Steve Taylor, the quarterback, and you know San Antonio's got to start to mix it up or they're in trouble.
Timeout in Steeltown with the Cats on top by 10.
Ooh, that looks sore. No problem, though. I know what the doc will be recommending for you. Deep cold therapy. No bones about it. Deep cold eases a pain of sore muscles. It works like ice, without the mess or inconvenience. Yep, he'll probably tell you Deep Cold is the original. In fact, it's the best-selling cold rub on the market. And... Gotcha!
Now available, Deep Cold Ice Spray.
Mr. Sub, fresh thinking is what we are.
Coming up at McDonald's halftime, we will take a look at what transpired last night. It was a memorable evening for Doug Flutie, Matt Dunnigan. A couple of huge milestones. The Stallions and Dogs. We'll have highlights of this contest, and we will talk live to Martin Short. That's right, Martin Short. He's a big CFL football fan, and he'll like tonight's contest.
Martin Short, a native of Hamilton, loves his Tiger Cats, and we saw him in the pregame festivities here tonight. He'll be along with Darren at the half. Meanwhile, lots to cheer about for Tiger Cat fans in this one tonight. They've engineered some solid drives, Leif, and here's another opportunity.
Yeah, it's a terrific opportunity for them to really take control of this game.
1st and 10, Ticats at the 12. Taylor, all kinds of time, tipped away by Jason Wallace. Manny Hazard was the intended receiver, as Wallace came over to get a hand on it.
At that time, San Antonio brought 7 people, a different look for Steve Taylor, and they have to do this. They have to try and get him out of a pretty comfortable rhythm that he's fallen into. And Jason Wallace with the good coverage. I think Jason Wallace is their best defensive back, not just because he made that play, but when you look when they get into man-to-man situations, I think he's the best cover guy they have.
And he's been really involved in this one tonight. 2nd and 10, Ticats at the 12. Big rush on Taylor. He goes down, and it's picked off. It's Jason Wallace at the 7, at the goal line. He's had a great series, as Wallace was there and waiting. Hazard was the intended receiver, and Wallace, according to my notes, that's his first interception of the season.
It is his first pick of the season, and they did it with extra pressure. Sawyer, Tom Gerhardt with the hit, and that just throws up a duck from Steve Taylor with that heavy pressure and the hit coming, and Wallace gets the easy interception. But it's the pressure, and you know, for San Antonio, we talked about an adjustment they would have to make. They had to bring some more people and change their coverage. They did. They get the interception.
Those ducks are hard to catch, aren't they?
Well, that wasn't too hard for Jason Wallace to catch that duck.
I just mean the wobble on it. You know, you have to figure it all out the way it's coming down. Texans beginning at the 1. Troy Mills gets out to about the 4.
Mills the ball carrier.
Well, what a series he had. He had to knock down in the end zone, and then he comes up with the key interception that, you know, when you look back on this game, 17-7 Hamilton, 24-7, I'm not sure San Antonio has the offense to overcome that. You look back at the 2, 3, 4 plays that make a game. His might be one of those 3.
Yeah, actually back-to-back plays, knocking it down and then coming up with the interception on the goal line. 2nd in a bunch. Wide open is Kralik, and he may be gone. Joe Kralik down the sidelines with 2 Ticats in pursuit, and it's a touchdown. 106-yard touchdown. The strike from David Archer to Joe Kralik. And that play, previous to that, the interception looms even larger for San Antonio as a result of this connection here.
Well, Eric Carter gambled. He tried to come underneath Kralik and make the big play, and he gets burned by it. I mean, he's a great defensive back, but that was a situation that maybe he shouldn't have gambled on. And Kralik, to his credit, with the nice concentration, good catch. And boy, oh boy, you get the interception by Wallace. 2 plays later, 106-yard touchdown. And all of a sudden, San Antonio is alive and well in this game.
Kralik may need a little oxygen over there after the long run. He really had to stretch it out.
Take your helmet off. Easy, easy. You feel cool?
Working on the hamstring. And the Texans are right back.
You know, you talk about corners throughout the league that like to gamble and take some chances. You know, sometimes it's good when it's calculated. But here's a guy, Eric Carter, hardest 5 interceptions. I mean, you look at him. There's his head. He sees that football, and he says, look, I can get in front of that Joe Kralik and make the interception. It was just a better throw than he thought. I mean, David Archer put that on a rope about 45 yards to Kralik. And, you know, that's just a better throw than I think Eric Carter thought he could make. What a throw.
David Archer hits on 62% of his passes in a solid toss that time for a 106-yard touchdown.
John, when you're a corner like Eric Carter, there he is. He's a good one. Make no mistake about that. When a quarterback's throwing like a 35, 40-yard post, usually there's a little more hump on the football. If it's Doug Flutie or Tommy Burgess or Damon Allen, there's a little more air time on it. What he didn't factor into this whole thing was it's David Archer, who I think's probably got the strongest arm in the league, and he threw a rope about 40 yards that Carter just couldn't catch up with.
It's going to make for an interesting second half and a big turnaround for the Ticats, who were in scoring position 3 plays ago, and all of a sudden it's the Texans who come back with a 106-yard touchdown strike. Here's Rogers. Stopped at the 35 with 1:32. Just a couple of plays to travel a long, long way for the San Antonio Texans.
I don't have statistics to prove this, but I think that's the longest drive they've had this year.
I would think it's a pretty decent guess, old pal.
Wow, you talk about the little things that turn around a game. Jason Wallace interception, how large that looms right now.
Ticats have 1:32 till halftime. A chance to get a few more points on the board. Taylor has to get away from the pressure, and there's a marker down as Lee Knight makes the catch back at the original line of scrimmage. Or trying to make the catch, I should say. Couldn't hang on. It was Dave Richardson back protecting the quarterback, and I think it might have been a little holding.
It wasn't a little holding. It was a lot of holding.
Holding. Hamilton, number 51. Decline. Second down.
That's pretty easy one to call here. Dave Richardson, top of your screen. There he is on Jeff Sawyer. That good pass rush to the outside, and you'll see Richardson knows he's in trouble. He said, I'll try and get away with it, but referee was right there and saw it easily.
Penalty decline, 2nd and 10 Ticats, and here's another marker down. Someone moved early. Earl Winfield makes the catch out across the 50. And I think Jeff Sawyer was a little quick on that play.
Well, he was so excited about getting close in the holding call on the previous one that he just kind of launched himself a little early, and I don't think there's any question that it was Jeff Sawyer who was offside.
1:17 till the half.
So,
offside. San Antonio, number 97. Decline. First down.
Most teams would have accepted that holding penalty and let Hamilton be 1st and 20, but for some reason San Antonio decided not to. And that's a lot of yardage not to take in a penalty. Boom, now you get a first down, and Hamilton's about a first down or two away from a field goal chance.
Yeah, with lots of time till halftime to take a slow and concentrated march here.
There's not too many teams that wouldn't accept a major penalty like holding, and I don't know, you have to question that coaching decision right there, I think.
Ticats 17, Texans 14 with 1:14 to go till halftime. Pretty entertaining first half of football. Texans taking the majority of penalties for 61 yards. Ticats have taken 4 for 15.
Of course, the one San Antonio penalty for too many men on the field, and especially on the kick return, gave Hamilton that first down, automatic first down. They went in and scored. So penalties have played an important part here in this first half.
And the other Tiger Cat touchdown earlier set up at the 1-yard line on an interference call in the end zone.
Absolutely.
Thompson to the near side, 88. Earl Winfield flanks to the far side of the field. And I'm not so sure what the delay is about here. I don't know if there's a problem with the clock or what, but I guess we're ready now. There was no timeout that I heard. Ticats first down. Taylor's shotgun. Here comes the heat. And he got it away from Manny Hazard. Close to a first down.
Manny Hazard.
Wallace on the tackle on Manny Hazard. Let's see where they'll spot this. It is a first down, Tiger Cats.
That's a good job by Hazard to work his way back to the quarterback to keep that separation, because he knew Jason Wallace was close by. And once again, Steve Taylor takes another hit from Willie Fears right up the middle. I can count Steve Taylor's had about 6 solid hits on him in this first half, and eventually they take their toll.
53 seconds till halftime as Taylor looks to take off himself. Slips through for about 4 yards. Harper made the tackle on Steve Taylor, who was thinking run all the way, it looked like.
Well, I talked earlier about the draw they ran to McAdoo as not being a great play, and I don't even think the quarterback draw against this team is a great play, because it's, number one, it's a zone predominantly defense where they can see that quarterback draw pretty easily, and this isn't a real fearsome pass rush that he's trying to run a draw against.
2nd and 6. Taylor with nowhere to go. He fired that into the turf. Richard Nurse was in the area, so was Winfield. But Roosevelt Collins had Steve Taylor in his grasp. So third down. I don't know if they're in Ozzy's range or not, Leaf.
Well, here you see Collins coming from the outside, and he gets the initial pressure and then gets pressure again. And, you know, this is just a matter of deciding you want to get some pressure on that quarterback, because initially Val St. Germain does a pretty nice job, but Collins just relentless in his pressure on Taylor, and he's the reason why that ball falls short.
Paulos Pauliston is in. His longest on the season is 50. So this from 49 is within his grasp. Perfect so far tonight. Had 3 for 3 last week, and Ozzy has it up. And he's good. He's in a groove, isn't he?
Well, he is in a groove, and, you know, one of the reasons why he's in a groove is because Blaine Schmidt, who signed as a free agent from the Argonauts, is a terrific snapping. He's a guard. He used to be a center, but it's his snaps that, if Paul Paulson said, has been the reason why not only their field goal kicking is better, but his punting is better. Look at that. Boom. Right into Mike Kerrigan. Easy for Kerrigan to handle. Get the little tilt that the kickers love. But, you know, you look at this whole equation, center, holder, and kicker, and the kicker's usually the one that gets all the accolades. But I'll tell you what, Blaine Schmidt and Mike Kerrigan deserve a little bit of it, too.
25 seconds till halftime. Ticats on top, 20-14 as Archer looks to find a receiver. Has a man open near side, forced out of bounds.
Archer to Kittrick Taylor.
Kittrick Taylor made the catch, and he was forced out almost immediately. Now 18 seconds till the half.
David Archer with all kinds of time to throw. Finally went to the safety valve, you know, like he's thinking downfield so he can get Roman Anderson, his field goal kicker, out there. But finally, when nobody was open, he dumped it off. It still was a pretty solid play for them.
And it up for a first down with just 18 seconds till halftime. Archer has to get a little closer. Comes up short on the completion to Mark Stock, number 12.
Michael O'Shea on the tackle.
And Archer has 13 seconds to work with. First 6 drives, 52 yards. The last one was 109.
But our guys are having fun right now because, you know, 106 of that was Joe Kralick's catch.
109 yards in 2 plays. Archer. And Stock couldn't bring it down that time. Mark Stock with Brian McCurdy covering.
Archer's pass goes incomplete.
You know, as a defensive back, when you know a receiver has a chance to make a catch and you can't break it up, now you got to try and separate him with the hit. And here comes Brian McCurdy, 26. He knows if he could drive right through the body of Mark Stock, he's got a chance that he'll drop it. And, you know, hey, some people say, well, he should have kind of got his hands on it. But I'll tell you, that's a pretty good hit by Brian McCurdy. And one of the reasons why he is starting tonight, they've gone through 3 middle safeties. They started with Roger Hennick, went to Rob Hitchcock, and now Brian McCurdy has won the starting job. And it's plays like that that got him the job.
Third down and about 4 as they talk it over on the San Antonio sideline.
Well, you see on downs, they've only given it up 4 times. They've had all kinds of turnover problems. This has been a pretty error-free first half for them on offense. And you look at 10 interceptions, 13 fumbles, only 4 on downs. I mean, only the BC Lions have turned it over more as an offense. And, you know, here's another. They're either going to add to that awful total, or they're going to pick one up here on get a first down.
6 seconds till the half is over. Might as well go for it. 3rd and 3 at the 52. Here come the Ticats. Archer over the middle for Mills. It's picked up by Michael O'Shea. He's not going to make it to the end zone, folks. Mills made the tackle. He was the intended receiver, so the Ticats finish on a high note.
On the final play of the first half, O'Shea.
Solid first half. Here's one of Hamilton's favorites in action, number 59, Michael O'Shea.
And he does not take his eyes off David Archer at all until the ball is in the air, and then slides over and picks up his 2nd interception of the year. Pretty solid first half on defense for the Tiger Cats, and to San Antonio's credit, they didn't let this game get out of hand when it had a chance to get out of hand.
We enjoyed the first half. Look forward to the second from Ivor Wynn with the Ticats on top by 6. We send you back to Darren at CFL Control.
McDonald's Halftime, presented by your local McDonald's restaurant. Here's Darren Detition.
Welcome to McDonald's Halftime. Last night, it was a very big night for quarterbacks in the CFL, but outshining them all, the veteran Matt Dunigan. Against the top defense in the league, Dunigan rewrote the record books. He tossed 3 touchdowns and led the Barracudas to a last-minute victory, but more importantly, he racked up 433 yards, moving him past Tom Clements and into second place on the CFL's all-time passing yardage list. So in his 13th season in the CFL, Donnie has now passed for 39,266 yards and 274 touchdowns. But he still has a long way to go to set the all-time passing yardage mark, as Ronnie Lancaster holds the record with 50,535 yards. It took the Hall of Famer 19 seasons to accomplish the feat. It was also a very memorable night for Doug Flutie in more ways than one. Not only was the Stamps' 27-game regular season home unbeaten streak broken, Flutie was forced to leave the game due to injury. But before he did that, he surpassed the 30,000-yard plateau. It was not a typical day at the office for Flutie. He only threw for 128 yards, but it was this pass to Pee Wee Smith that just put him over the 30,000-yard mark. He then left the game due to tendonitis in his right elbow. So Flutie now sits in 6th place on the all-time CFL passing list with 30,001 yards. He's also thrown for 200 touchdowns. And remember, hey, he's only playing in his 6th season in the league. They really are remarkable numbers. Also remarkable is that he has never missed a game during those 5.5 seasons, but it looks like he'll be out for at least a week with that bad right elbow.
I don't think it's an option. I think it's probably going to be a necessity more than anything. You know, I don't know, maybe I'll turn around tomorrow morning, the swelling will be down and it'll feel great. I doubt that very seriously. It's probably going to be a little while.
On to the Memphis Mad Dogs as they are wrapping up their home-and-home series with the Baltimore Stallions. You know, after back-to-back losses, the Stallions ended the game bitter. Well, the Dogs are banged up. No Damon Allen and no downtown Eddie Brown. Let's now join Baltimore TV station WNUV and its announcers Bruce Cunningham and Joe Washington live in Memphis.
8-yard line, but that could be enough for the first down. First down here, you got 1st and goal, and things are looking good for the Mad Dogs.
Well, again, just simple handoffs, simple quick hitting plays. Because of the reaction time of this Baltimore defense, it doesn't pay to go with long, drawn-out plays where you're trying to run laterally. You've got to get at these guys real quick, get your linemen on them, and get your backs inside real quick, because this is a quick football team, a little small on the ends, but it is a first down.
1st and goal for the Memphis Mad Dogs here on their first possession of the game, and what a possession it has been. The big fullback out of Arizona State, Bruce Perkins, the main weapon. 6'2½", 232 pounds. Had a big game at Memorial Stadium, as we mentioned, and appears to be on his way to yet another tonight. Perkins, the lone setback this time, double slots to the right. Foggy gives it to Perkins again, and he falls forward to about the 6-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 6.
And I tell you what, Gerald Bayless did a fantastic job. It's really tough to block Gerald Bayless one-on-one. And if you're just going to try to, put your center on Gerald Bayless, which they try to do, go one-on-one blocking, it's going to be tough, and he's going to make a lot of tackles. Still running straight ahead is what, this Memphis team is doing, but Baltimore won that battle in the trenches.
2nd and goal from the 7. Power I for the Mad Dogs. Foggy gets sacked by O.J. Brigance. Brigance comes through untouched on the blitz, and there's no flags that time. So we're going to see the field goal unit for the Memphis Mad Dogs. The kicker, Nick Mystrom, a big game as well against the Stallions last week at Memorial Stadium. He's looking to put the Mad Dogs on the board first in this football game. Joe, there's 8:07 left in the first quarter. That is a 7-minute possession for the Memphis Mad Dogs.
Yes, it's a 7-minute possession, but, they're lucky, to be able to get this. Because of penalties, they've kept a lot of drives going, this Baltimore defensive football team. But I tell you what, for them to just get 3 points out of this just goes to show you how important field position really is.
Well, you just saw Foggy coming off the field. Damon Allen, normal starter, injured. And the field goal is up, and it's good. And Memphis draws first blood of this one. Mad Dogs lead lead it 3-0 from the Liberty Bowl in Memphis. Timeout on the field. We'll be back.
3-0 for the Dogs. Can they do it again? I don't know. It's still early in the game. We're going to take a short break, but up next, when McDonald's halftime continues, we'll have a very special guest from Ivor Wynn. But first, here's a look at the top 6 passers on the CFL's all-time yardage list.
And we're set for the Ticat kickoff to begin the second half at Ivor Wynn in Hamilton, Ontario. Cats on top by 6, solid first half, and we look forward to a great second half between the Texans and the Tiger Cats. Osbaldiston has it underway. Coming down to David Lucas at the 20. Another fine run by Lucas, who's out near the 45. And Derek McAdoo is in on the tackle, one of the solid special teams players for the Ticats, holding a 24-yard return. Numbers on the quarterbacks from the opening half at Ivor Wynn tonight. Archer good on 7 of 15 for 183 in the big touchdown toss. Steve Taylor 14 of 27, 192 yards, a more controlled offense, 1 touchdown and 1 interception for each quarterback. Archer and the Texans begin right at the 45-yard line, first down. And that's Mike Saunders, better than halfway to a first down as he crosses the 50 and closes in on the 55-yard line. Michael Philbrick made the tackle.
Well, you look at Dave Archer, what he did in the first half, completed only 7 balls, and you look at distribution, who were they to? Well, Graylick had the one huge one for a touchdown, and Myron Wise, who's the 5th receiver in their scheme of things, and boy, he just spread it around. I mean, not a lot of completions, but not really one guy you could key on as you win and come out from halftime on defense and think, hey, we better shut him down. Really doesn't matter. He's moving it all over the place.
This is 2nd and 2, and Saunders gets the call again. Away from a shirt tackle. Marcus Cotton had him by the numbers, but he spun away and got enough for the first down.
One of the things that San Antonio likes to do is to run that counter to the outside, and here comes the off guard and off tackle, and Mike O'Shea with the initial hit right up the middle, and you know, that's a pretty good running by Mike Saunders just to pick up a couple of yards. I mean, a lot of people had shots at him at the line of scrimmage.
Texans first down at the 53. Ticats leading by 6. Some early movement, and markers are everywhere. Let's get the initial indication from Don Ellis.
Illegal procedure. San Antonio, number 62. First down.
And this is what happened to San Antonio to start the game on their opening drive. You know, a couple penalties. Here's John Buddenberg here. Watch it. Little fancy footwork here before the snap, and all of a sudden now you've had a first down. Now you're back to 1st and 15. But little things, you know, really hurt San Antonio's offense tonight. Little penalties like that one that John Buddenberg just took.
It'll be 1st and 15 facing Archer now. Little play action as Archer goes deep. Robinson was covering, and the ball was thrown behind both the intended receiver and the defender. Intended for Myron Wise.
Now the blitz coming. Here comes Mike O'Shea, and they're caught on the loop all the way up the middle. Terrific job by Mike Saunders to pick him up, and had Don Robinson been able to turn around a little quicker, I think he might have had a chance at the interception. But you know, we talked about David Archer being hit so many times. For the most part, his offensive line and backs have done a good job protecting him.
This is 2nd and 15, another marker down as Archer finds someone coming out of the backfield. That's Troy Mills. Mills can't be brought down until he crosses the 35. Grabbed from behind by Eric Carter. 28 yards, and the flags were down in the backfield of the Texans.
Illegal procedure. San Antonio, number 82. Repeat, 2nd down.
That's Myron Wise, the slot back, and you know, he comes in on these long passing downs. He's the 5th receiver, comes in those situations, and you know, that was a heck of a play by Troy Mills to get the first down. All of a sudden, another penalty slows this drive down. I mean, they do some good things, and then boom, they go backwards. Good things, and then backwards. I mean, that's tough to have any consistency on offense.
Second down and 20 to go for Dave Archer. Fans here getting a little boisterous as Archer swings it out again. Mills again. O'Shea was there on the tackle, number 59. Not many plays on 2nd and 20 have too much effect.
Well, I think, you know, what David Archer just has to say, look, let's try and get a few back, punt, and, you know, well, let's start over on another series. And for Don Southern, you know, his defense has played pretty disciplined defense tonight. Only one play, you know, Eric Carter went for an interception, missed, and they got the touchdown. But, you know, for the most part, this defense has kept everybody in front of it and come up and made some pretty good tackles tonight.
Todd Jordan standing at his 43. Nice view there. Sam Rogers won't have a play as Jordan plays it about perfectly, bouncing it out at the 9-yard line after a 43-yard punt.
If you look at some of the things that have affected the score the way it is right now, Hamilton ahead 24-14. You know, obviously they've done a good job on first down productions to move the ball pretty well, but boy, the guy I like, how about old Ozzie? You know, 47 and 49-yard field goals. Is that any good? He's now 20 of 26 on the season, and you know, when he's been called upon in that first half, he really did the job. There he is. Said the difference this year, we talked about it in the first half. I've got a great center that gets that ball back consistently, and I never have to think about anything but kicking. Last year was a different story.
He was 3 for 3 last week. This is McAdoo. And McAdoo has been in for Kalen Hall since Hall suffered a concussion in the first half.
We looked at David Archer's distribution. This is what Steve Taylor did in the first half, moving the football around. And although Manny Hazard's been the most productive receiver with catches, it was Earl Winfield. One of those catches was a big touchdown down the sidelines.
44-yard touchdown for Winfield.
See Derek McAdoo in there. He's going to play the entire second half. Kalen Hall with that concussion will not return.
Here's Taylor on 2nd and 5. Has Lee Knight stopped short of the first down as he was wrapped up on the far side by linebacker Dave Harper. Spent a couple of years with Dallas on the practice roster in his 2nd season now in this franchise.
Yeah, he's a great linebacker. Comes into tonight's game 3rd in the league in tackles with 45. You mentioned he was in Dallas. He was playing a lot of special teams with the Cowboys, but he had real personality conflict with the special teams coach down in Dallas, and he just up and quit one day. He said, you know, enough of that. I'm not going to play football if it's a pain in the neck, but he decided to come out of retirement and come to San Antonio. Actually came to Sacramento a year ago, and now has been an extremely productive linebacker for them. Funny how you get some players. Sam Rogers, they were looking at somebody else. This guy gets in a fight with a coach of another team, and he ends up being productive.
Here's Osbaldiston standing at his own 3. Big charge. Ozzie gets it away. This is David Lucas. Had a little trouble with it. Now he's got it. Stopped at the 55. Lost it there. But got it back as Andrew Martin led the Ticats tacklers that time. 42-yard punt. 3 yards on the return. And still the Ticats on top by 6.
Stony Ridge Cellars, the makers of...
I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, I took the high endurance challenge from Old Spice because I didn't really think it could work better than my old deodorant, but it does. It evaporates less quickly. It also lasts longer. High endurance protects against odor better. So if you still think every deodorant works the same, take the challenge. Try high endurance from Old Spice, because now you got proof. Guaranteed.
From the trusted family of Grimeter products who brought you laundry aids and waterless hand cleaners comes a technological breakthrough in car wax. The new Grimeter waterless car wash and wax. Just spray on and wipe off for a showroom finish in less than 20 minutes. Use it safely 12 months a year, anytime, anywhere. The new Grimeter waterless car wash and wax. Available exclusively at Canadian Tire.
It's now a tie game at the Liberty Bowl. Carlos Huerta will come out and drill the 47-yarder That ties it up at 3 in the second quarter of play. A defensive battle taking place tonight. Let's go back to Ivor Wynn.
That's a good idea.
Ticats leading it 20-14 on the Texans from San Antonio. 10:29 to go, third quarter, and Kalen Hall, as we mentioned, finished for the night.
Blocking in Calgary, the game last week. How about Laurie
Lee Knight
Nimo?
and Steve
Hey,
Taylor,
Laurie,
and
want
they're
to
going to
BC
have to
soon?
carry a little extra load now with Kalen Hall not in the ball game, although McAdoo's had a touchdown on short yardage. These guys are going to have to pick it up a notch, because with Hall out there, they lose a lot.
Lee Knight has been productive for the Tiger Cats tonight. Couple of key receptions to keep drives alive. Now it's the Texans' turn. Beginning right at midfield. This is Mike Saunders trying to turn the corner. And he got caught up in traffic and actually fell down. Pinned by Luke Capazzo, number 58. Everything closed down.
Second down, 15 yards to go.
Well, if you believe in all this stuff about which quarter's your good quarter, I mean, San Antonio's hoping they get a lot of offensive plays because this is the quarter they've scored the most points in.
Loss of 4 for David Archer. He looks at 2nd and 14. Swings it for Troy Mills over the middle. And Mills gets out near the 50-yard line, gets a lot back, but he'll be short of the first down. Ticats do struggle a bit in this quarter, Leaf.
Well, one of the reasons why they struggle, you know, these are numbers that reflect on the defense, but it's the ineffectiveness of their offense to move the football. They've been on the field a lot in the second and third quarters, and yeah, this is their worst, but that's kind of misleading in a way. These two defenses are so similar. They're these bend, don't break type, only rush 4 guys, drop off 8, and you know, they're tough defenses. When you're in second and long, I mean, these are tough defenses to convert first downs. You got to have great first down production against San Antonio and Hamilton's defense.
Todd Jordan at his 45. That's what you see. Here's Jordan's punt. High. Coming down for Rogers. Markers are down, and Rogers turns it into a decent return. He's out of around the 25.
Gerhardt and Bartley on the tackle.
9 yards on the return, 35 on the punt.
No yards. San Antonio, number 37. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Don Ellis said 37, but it was 97. Jeff Sawyer. Now, you know, maybe he hasn't covered a lot of kicks before, but watch him now. He can't locate the football. I mean, he gets the no yards penalty. He just kind of runs by him, and you know, there. But he doesn't even know where the ball is yet, and he gets the no yards call. And didn't even get a hit out of it. Like, if you're going to get no yards like that, you might as well get a hit. But then you get roughing on top of it.
Then you get roughing on top of it. 5 yards isn't a big hurt at times. Ticats set up at the 31-yard line, first down. Hamilton by 6 in the lead. Shoveled ahead for Derek McAdoo. And he's hit hard, trying to get across the line.
You know, John, I really don't understand some of the plays that Hamilton's running tonight. And they're all running plays. The draw and now the shovel pass. And those plays are designed to slow down a pass rush. And this isn't a pass rush that everybody worries about. Look, I mean, you look at the tackles, Bethune and Fears. I mean, they don't even get any penetration upfield. So, I mean, these to me are the absolute wrong plays to run. I mean, run those quick hitters to get through there, but not the dinky plays, the shovels and the draws.
That was Harper on the tackle there, limiting the gain to a yard. This is 2nd and 9. Found a way to get open.
And this is where defensive backs really have to understand the situation. I think Hamilton's secondary does a good job with that, but, you know, on this play, Jason Wallace, he's the best cover guy they have, and, you know, for some reason, he doesn't want to come up and get physical and snug up on Manny Hazard when, you know he's not going deep. They just want to control the football and kill the clock, but, you know, Wallace has to play a little smarter than that, I think.
Ticats, 26th first down. That's a great story. This is Derek McAdoo pounding his way for 4, well, maybe 3 yards.
Numbers on Hazard very impressive, Leif. 8 for 123 and the 2 touchdowns.
I'm glad to see him have a night like that. I always felt like he was a good receiver, and he just caught up in wrong place, wrong time after the one good season that he had. And now tonight he's showing everybody that this is the real Manny Hazard, and you know he can make a big contribution to somebody's offense, and he's doing it here in Hamilton.
He was in the Birmingham camp before coming over to join the Tiger Cats.
And he hasn't been 100% healthy. I mean, he's missed 3 games with assorted injuries this year, and it seems like the entire Hamilton receiving corps has had always injury problems. Andrew Griggs out tonight. But Hazard's back. He's healthy and has made an enormous contribution for Don Southern's club.
45 seconds on the clock. The Ticats look at 2nd and 7 here. Put it up, looking deep for Thompson, and it's knocked away. Humphrey got his hands on it with 38 seconds to go.
You know, Don Southern wanted to stretch the defense tonight with the vertical passing game, you know, to go deeper, to loosen up secondaries. And, you know, I think Anthony Cavillo really listened to that conversation, because since he has come in the game, he's really wanted to get the ball deep. Always haven't been the greatest passes, but you know, he's done the job loosening it up, and he's been able to throw underneath effectively as a result. I think Dieter Brock would be happy with the job his quarterbacks have done tonight.
One man back for the Texans. Osbaldiston standing near his 40. Now they've had to, or they've watched Lucas run by a couple of times, so they'll need good cover on this guy. Osbaldiston. Lucas on the run. Got one. Hassan Bailey. Started to say Lucas with one little move on, but Bailey was there. And so Archer faces 29 seconds on the clock, and he needs to get to the end zone.
And he's going to see a defense that will drop 9 people and only rush 3. And, you know, that's a difficult defense to go over the top with. And he's only got 29 seconds with which to try and get a touchdown to pull this game out.
Talked about the single by Osbaldiston. He missed the field goal at 49. The single is what's keeping the Ticats a little more comfortable at this stage. Texans need a touchdown to win. Look for Stock, and he's nailed. Brian McCurdy was there to break it up. Hitchcock is in there too. They're running a little shy on defensive backs.
Well, they're playing a 6 defensive back system, and McCurdy and Hitchcock are just helping over the top. And you know, when the ball's in the air that long, they just flow to it. And crowded Ivor Wynn, all 20,000 can kind of sense a pretty solid victory for their club.
23 seconds on the clock. Ticats hanging on by 4. Archer stands up, tipped away. Michael O'Shea diving across, tipped it away from Joe Kralik. One last chance for the Texans. It's 3rd and 10. What was that signal? Hail Mary? Seconds on the clock. So it'll be a first down, Texans. Lots of injuries here tonight. This has slowed the game down a little bit. We're past 3 hours. 9 seconds unofficially on the clock. First down. David Archer has to get to the end zone. He trails by 4.
McCurdy got a hand on it. One last chance with 4 seconds to go. Despite the fact that time has all been run out on the Texans, the Ticats are really making this rather